Howdy, 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 ladies and gents. This is Rap with another sweet video for you guys. So I'm on the Inferno with the CS2 limited invite and everything, and it's very beautiful, but it's also very different. And so, with a lot of most lineups that we've had in the past on CS:GO, they don't work on here because, well, jumping is so different. So you see some big differences there. You can probably look over here, and there's a big difference over here already, stuff like that, right? Of course, that completely makes certain lineups completely useless. So, I'll show you guys how to do some of the utility and whatnot, especially since Inferno's really utility heavy and everything. I found some of my own stuff in there, but before I show you guys, I want to make a note about the jump throws because some people have been all over social media, not towards me directly by any means, but just overall and general, like whether it be like TikTok or I guess Instagram, and especially Twitter, people and have been making complaints everywhere about the jump through. Like, hey, I can't jump through. What do I do? There's no bind it for it anymore. You can't bind it. You can't bind it anymore, and that's because, well, jump throws are now a skill check. And so, and what I mean by that is, like, if you get that, you can get perfect throws still, but it is require a certain amount of precise timing that you have with both your mouse and your whatever you use for your jump, whether it be the scroll wheel or space bar, whatever it might be, right? And that is so when you hear, if I were just to do this, like mess it up, right, like this, all you hear is a radio call up, nothing else. But if I make a perfect jump throw, you'd hear a grunt from my character, like that. And so when you hear a grunt from your character, you got correct. And it's actually pretty easy to get down. It's only like 3 minutes to get used to it. So all you gotta do really is just, you gotta jump, like tap your jump, whatever it might be, and then let go of your nade as it happens, like this. Right, some kind of noise that your character makes. It can be kind of a bit of a, like a, the last one was kind of a bit of a farty noise, but like, or like some kind of grunt or some kind of like breath or whatever, right? Like whatever it might be. One of those, you'll know you got your perfect jump throw. Now, okay, that's all I wanted to note about that whole entire jump throw thing. Let's go ahead and get straight into the meat of the video, which is like the actual lineups themselves. So, we'll do the car molly on Dana first, because that is a very simple one to do. So, you probably noticed that we usually on CS:GO, not 2, but on Go, sometimes you would aim between the wall of this barrel in the corner or whatever, in there. And usually it will spread everywhere like this, but it doesn't always spread behind. Which right here, sometimes it can be, it's very inconsistent at times because sometimes it'll reach all the way. Sometimes it'll like how it lands and whatnot. Because sometimes and trying to land it consistently in that exact way where it needs to be, like I think it's right here or something, is very kind of weird. So I found a more consistent way to do it, and it will land like right about like here or so. And it's pretty easy to do. It's on the fly and whatnot, but of course you have to be the fastest one. They're faster than the CTs. If you have a good spawn for it, go for this one. If you have a molly and everything, make sure it's first person though, because you need the first person to do this. And that is, you're gonna come along the wall. You're gonna aim right there on that pillar where the arches are at, right here, and you want to run throw. And as soon as you hit that corner, you're gonna jump. You're gonna throw it. Like go and throw.
Throwing a molotov.
And they'll get left behind and in front, so nobody can peek this way. And sometimes the reason why the one doesn't work, it may work for here, but not here at times, because sometimes it'll have like a little bit here, and then CD can just peek right here. That's why you want to throw it like right here, because it will cover everything, like everywhere. So now there are some lineups are pretty much the same as in Go, like the molly for Sandbags is pretty much the same. But I do notice that the area seems to be a bit bigger. So a nade might not be enough for it, but you still might get a decent amount of damage there. Another lineup that is pretty common, that was especially used, which you can pretty much use at any point of Banana, is the God Flash. If you aim at the top here, that's pretty much the exact same. But then some of the smokes on B side are very similar, but not exactly the same. For instance, if I were to do the CT smoke from Banana, right? Like there would be a door here, and then there'd be a doorbell here. And now this doorbell is a mailbox. And usually you'd find a chimney stack and everything, but there's no chimney stack with a smoke on or whatever. You aim at the top of the smoke of the smokestack or whatever. Not there anymore. Now, instead of a doorbell, you have this mailbox right here that I'm at, and then you have this corner you want to aim at. And left click through it, and it'll give you your perfect CT smoke. And if somebody's on top of that boost, you'll be able to see them pretty easily. Next one is the Coffin smoke. Way to do that is to line yourself with the door, this little panel door right here, and not on the side of the frame, but on the left side of the door exactly. And you want to find the ladder. You want to aim all the way to the top, right up, so you hit this, not the first line, the second line. And notice there's a light here, so you want to aim on the border of where this line, line meets with the light, like so. Not alright, but let me a little bit to the left. Everything. I'm on straight the line. There we go. And then you want to able to aim right on the line. Overtake if I can actually get this right. Holy crap! And you want to let go. Sometimes doing it. Sometimes to the center. And then you'll get a perfect Coffin smoke. Now, why this is good is because even if I am opping, right, on coffins, I can't punch a hole through the potential gap. It won't go, and it prevents any pushes and everything. So it'll be fine, you know, with the like the punch out mechanic that the smokes have now in this game. It won't be able to punch it as long as it's close enough. Because if it's too far this way, you'll be able to. But if you land it close enough, like right next to the coffin, you'll be fine. It'll be set, and no worries about that at all. That's all the smokes for B site. And time for mollies. So mollies are actually pretty easy for this bomb site. So the first thing we want to do is, for the dark one, you go to this corner, right here. Like right here, on the corner. Then you want to find where you see this antenna on top of this house thing, the right one. And you go to where you see this gap on this brick. You want to go to the top of that gap. And then you want to line it with the antenna, like so. As you can see, I'm gonna hit like dark pretty easily. Hit that, boom, dark is secured. Next one is Newbox. The Newbox, you're gonna be on this door right here. You're gonna aim, or even with the left side of this part of the door, close to the doorway, door frame. You're actually gonna find this part of this left side, this little rift architecture thing. You're gonna go below the line edge and aim at the left side of this. You're gonna aim up below that edge of that board right, of that box right there. Look at the door and I'll bounce right in. Now, I do notice that you can be a little generous with this lineup and everything. Sometimes you can be like way back here or like way back here if you want to. If you want to be able to get the peak right away, you can. Right? Try to be a little faster on that, you can. That one's pretty generous as far as where you need to line up and everything. So the first thing you're gonna do for oranges, now for oranges you're gonna go ahead and come in this corner right here. Up inside the corner on the curb. I'm gonna look at this little shingle is right here. I'm gonna count 4 gaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and right in the center of that. Like right about where the dark is at. And you're gonna left the throw. Gonna molly both sides of oranges. Okay, no we're not. And I think that's it for this side. Yes. So go ahead and go on to taking mid, both mids and everything. Alright. Alright, so say we want to take first mid and everything and whatnot. It's a very easy way to do that actually is just go to this little like hose red container thing. I'm assuming it's for hose. I could be wrong. I'm sorry for my Italian viewers and everything. I can't read it. But you go over here. Or it might be post office. I don't know. Anyways, you go here and you go and you find this little antenna thing right here. This bottom piece right here. You go to the end of it, left end of it, and just left click throw. And you have perfect smoke and mid. And if you want to be a little extra on it, if you think something might be pushing up with after you smoke it, you could also throw a flash by aiming same line up, except you aim a little higher. Like, and just throw a flashbang. It'll blind anybody trying to push up, or anybody who's still trying to spam you and everything like that. Smoke, just be aware that they can spam you through the smoke and whatnot. Alright, now let's go ahead and try to take alt mid, or just a second mid, so you guys can push apps or whatever you want. So first you're going to find this little wall here where the bridge is at, and you're going to put yourself kind of out in the open-ish on the center part of this railing right here, about a balcony. You're going to find, you can see this top of this little tower. You're going to see this little doorway that's kind of right past the spot right here. Oh, it's like right here. And then you're going to run through out the window. You pass the door, and you'll hit it right behind inside the stairs on apps. Or the boiler stairs anyways. They can't just push up and everything. It's easy. So now we can either take apps or we can take, you know, mid or whatever again, or brackets, however you want to take it, whatever. So I'll show you how to do the balcony on apps and everything. So there's a couple things to note is that the lurk smoke does exist on this map, but it's very specific. So lurk smoke is actually, you would do is you jump on top of this radiator right here. You're going to center yourself on the edge of it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, right below this little, I guess a candle like holder or whatever, you're going to go right below it. You'll notice that there's this gap in this shit paint right here. You're going to aim at the bottom of where it starts to change, like slant and everything. Right there. And you're going to aim right in the center of the doorway. Right here. At least the edge of the doorway. And you want just to do a crouch as you do it. And do a simple left click throw. It'll bounce, it'll be inside that truck. And you got yourself a lurk smoke. Now, another way you could actually take if you want to do a split, so you have some people going mid, or you just want to flash them out. Like 2 minutes trying to peek immediately out of apps and everything onto like sight. What you do is you can come over here, and the chimney flash is still existing. So you come down here to the first post right here. You're gonna crouch, and then when you crouch, you're gonna be aiming at the left window on the top left corner, like so. You throw it. Flashbang out. Hit. And if I go down here, and I'll show you where it hits, it's going to be hitting in pit. Full light. Okay. Sure. Up close, this close for whatever reason. Going to hit pretty much. If they're back here holding, I think he'll hit. You sure might hit him. Yeah, so if they're big pit, it'll be hit. If they're at least. If they're up here, they're not gonna get hit by it though. But if they're back here, they're gonna get hit. No, but if they're also on graveyard, they'll definitely get hit. And if they're, even if they're on this angle on site, they're gonna get hit. Oh, Mullen. They're gonna get hit right here. So it's pop flash for them. Same thing if you're librarian, right? If they're librarian. Hit. Although not as white, just it's farther away. And here, also hit, but not as full white. Whatnot. So you have some couple options with that flash and everything. Okay, now what if you want to take through brackets and everything? Well, there's a couple things to note. Is that there's actually 2 ways to throw the arch smoke. So if you're on the left-hand side of mid, you're gonna find yourself in the middle of where these 2 boards are at, on the border between the 2. And you're gonna aim on the top part of that beam, slightly to the left, like so. Hear that? It's gonna land like pretty darn close and everything, like right about there. It's gonna land right by the staircase, which is a new angle, by the way. Well, the staircase itself isn't. You can't shoot from the staircase itself, but there's a gateway, and to block off that gateway right here, okay, I'll block away that angle, and I'll block away the arch angle. And you can also peek without that smoky in your face, because I noticed that if you do try to land it right here, it's gonna be in your face. And if the exact same smoke from this position. Find this trash bag on this garage door with this little bolt. Find it. You're going to go ahead and you're going to aim at the top of this left, the top part of this antenna right here. At the far left. Looks like throw it. Gonna land the exact same spot. Or at least the same spot. The same thing, same methods. Take freely and everything without having the smoke be in your face. Now, if I wanted to maybe go archway and I wanted to smoke off lane and I wanted to and boiler and everything, if you come up to this step right here, aim with right above that lamp, right where the bend's at, going to left click throw. And it's really fast smoke, and it will block off both boiler, porch, etc. And you can push up, come up here, maybe do a flash or two. Or you can do like a flashbang up here, etc. Just be creative with it. And whatnot. That's another option. You can do that for. Now the next one, if you want to do, is if you are gonna go lane side, you also need to make sure that Moto is also taken care of. So there's two ways to do it. First one is from mid. Come to this little crack here where the two walls kind of this wall kind of separates into different elevations. I'm gonna go here. You're gonna find this little tower thing, and this little part of the roof right here. And you want to line them up, and aim up to the left of that, right where it's touching the roof portion of that tower right there. And you want to be able to make sure it lines up perfectly, vertically. You want to line it up with that beam that's on the roof right there, right here. And you want to just a simple left click throw will work. You know, land perfectly and end. There'll be no gaps. No gaps on the cubby or towards arches. If you want to have that same smoke, but from lane, you do the same thing here. Just find this pillar on porch. Come up here. You're gonna find this wind beam. Go to the left side of it, and dealing with the logs, and lift up the log. Aim like a centimeter or so, not too far up, and a simple left throw will do it. It's gonna bounce off the roof. It's gonna land right here in the middle of Moto, and again, not too much of a gap on cubby, and you're fine. Now, if you also want to be able to molly porch with it and whatnot, a good way to do that is to come up to hog the wall until you see the post where you see the lantern a little bit. Aim the height of the spikes at the top middle one. You just want to it's gonna cover all the porch, and it'll be able to cross it. No one's safe that nobody can't kill you from right here, or at least they'll be burned to death if they do so. Also, if you're gonna pick lane, make sure you also flash above. No skybox limit, so you can throw as high as you need to or as deep as you need to without blinding your teammates and whatnot. It doesn't matter too much. You could also probably throw here as well if you wanted to. So aim at the top of the roof there, and it won't blind your teammates at all whatsoever, but it'll blind anybody who's in the pit. Or most of the time it will. Get them through a little bit above it too, so you can actually get a more shallower angle. Go like right about here, for instance, and be fine, probably. Dodge it. And you should be fine to go. You have different ways to pick your angles and whatnot, and there you go. So that is pretty much the end of the T side. Most of the CT stuff is pretty much the same, such as except for you can't really flash, the same way by knocking over the thing. So you will have to look creative with it. Again, there's no skybox limit, so if you want to, you could probably peek here and be fine. You might get blinded by this, let's see. And a little bot. But again, CT is a bit more experimental, and as far as more it's probably the easiest one to really think about. That would probably be a better flash, for instance. Then I noticed that if you want to be able to you know, be able to get anybody on banana as CT. I noticed that if you want to throw a flash for your friend that won't team flash him or whatever, they'll be like right here, or they're trying to peek banana like this or so. I won't blame them at all. What you gotta do is come over here to this little middle, like, archway, little segment thing. I'm gonna aim at the bottom, the middle of that tower. Flash. And you'll be fine. So if I'm right here, I won't get blinded at all. If I'm right here, I might get hit lightly. But if I were to get T-side trying to push it, it's gonna hit me unless I dodge it. If I dodge it like this, the way, which you can force your leave your partner up and leave your teammate down and get an easy kill on them. Or if they get blinded by this, well, also free kill. Right? There's a way, that's how you can pop flash for your team or flash for your teammate on banana and not have it be blocked by this and whatnot. So there's that one. And then again, most of the CT stuff is pretty like simplistic to do. You can kind of mully kind of there, whatever. You can, you know, smoke here, whatever you want to do, right? And not. So it's kind of be creative about it. CT ones are a bit more like creative stuff, you know. If you want, you could also see like very simple like flashes and whatnot. Doesn't matter too much. That's pretty much it for the utility video for the new Inferno. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe to it. I hope this helped you. Have a good night.